Breakfast at Tiffany's, breakfast at Debenhams is more my speed. This is Virgin Radio, this is Ricky Wilson, and it's drive time. And we have a feature which we do called Rick on Tour, where I go through my Rolodex, or should I say my rock and Rolodex, where I call up people I admire, I love, who are in the music industry, and see what they're doing in their dressing room moments before they go on stage. Well, say moments. He's got a long time to go. It's Tom Walker is on the end of the line. Hello, Tom Walker.
How are we doing?
I am doing well. How are you today?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, not too bad.
You are in the O2 Academy, Glasgow. You're, if I picture it well, you're behind the stage, down some stairs in a grotto.
In a basement of doom. Yes.
Do you have your own? Do you know that you're a solo artist? I'm fascinated by people that are solo artists. Do you have your own room, or do you share it with other musicians?
No, I share it with the band. Yeah.
Really? Oh, I would be
Yeah.
totally. I'd be totally. Oh, I'm the star. I mean, I still do that with my band, and they don't have any of it. But so you're all in it together, even on the bus. Do you have a room?
I've got my own room on the bus.
You lucky.
Yeah.
I've dreamt of that. I've seen it before at the back.
Yeah, it's good times, mate. I'm not gonna lie. It's an absolute touch. It's lovely.
Do you pretend that you're writing songs in there and have like them bring up a guitar so you can pretend you're writing songs, but really you're just watching Netflix?
I'm normally just sleeping and steaming and being quite boring, to be honest.
Well,
this rock and roll business isn't rock and roll as I thought.
It's not, is it? It's weird because people think that you're up to all sorts of nefarious business, but really, you can't wait to get in and finish that next episode of whatever you're watching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also, I wish I was a drummer. I feel like as a singer, you've got to kind of look after yourself a bit on tour. Drummer, you can have old beers every night, no problem. Go out party till 5 a.m, come back the next day, no worries.
This is the thing. Do you have this thing, Tom, where you're on tour and singing? You can do that all day long, but talking afterwards, that's what gets you. That's what ruins your voice.
It's a nightmare.
It is.
It's inviting the 60 people back to the dressing room and trying to shout over each other in a very small confined space.
I don't think if I can picture that dressing room well, you couldn't fit 60 people in it.
I've got all my family coming down from Scotland tonight, so I imagine we'll do a good job of trying.
It is a bit of a hometown gig for you tonight. I mean, you were born there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was born in Glasgow. Yeah, all my family coming down. My grand's coming, my sister, my parents. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
When did you move away from Glasgow?
I was 3.5, hence the fact that I sound quite English at the moment. But if I'm speaking to my parents, I'm speaking a Scottish accent, weirdly.
Do you? Because I was going to ask, have you ever seen people at the Academy before? But at 3.5, I don't think you would have been going down to see many bands.
Do you know what? I haven't. I've been to the Hydro a few times, but yeah, most of the gigs I went to when I was younger at the MEN in Manchester.
The Academy at Glasgow is a raucous gig. I've played there a few times, and I think the last time we played there, we had to go to B&Q and get a gazebo to put over the mixing desk because of the pint throwage. Now, Glasgow audiences are known for throwing pints, and in a positive way. It's an expression of love.
It's a celebration of music. That's what I like to think of it as. When they throw a pint, it means you're doing a great job at the gig.
Do you get many pints thrown at your gigs?
Not so far, no. But I'm fine with that. Is it normally a pint? That's what you've got to ask yourself. You don't want to be. Is
it actually beer? So, Tom, you're well known for wearing the hat. Do you have a wardrobe case on tour, and is it just full of hats?
We do, and there's about maybe 10 in them, but we couldn't fit it in the venue today. So
I hate those days. When they say, we can't get that in today. And you go, when can you get it in then?
Well, hopefully when we're playing the arena shows, it'll be no problem.
When are they happening?
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how the new record goes, shall we?
Yeah, exactly.
We should talk about the new record in a minute. But I want to talk about, first of all, the new single. It's called Head Underwater. It's your second album. Did you suffer any of the second album blues that people get? This song, tell us about it before I play it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it took me a long time to figure out what kind of sound I wanted to do for this second album. Because you've got your whole life to write your first album. People don't really realize that, but you've been kind of drumming up all these ideas since the the minute you started playing or writing or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like you put that out, and it's like, okay, you've got a couple of years to do another one. So yeah, it definitely took me a little longer than I'd been expecting, but I'm so proud of it. It's such an amazing album, and really pushed the boundaries on the production, the vocals, everything. And this song, Head Underwater, is kind of about getting stuck deep down in the depths of the darkness and trying to fight your way out. It's almost a what doesn't kill you makes you stronger kind of vibe.
And he is in Glasgow, the O2 Academy. It's sold out tonight. He's playing there. You're playing there tomorrow night as well, aren't you?
I am indeed, yeah.
Woohoo! 2
Two in a
nights.
row, double bubble.
Oh, that means you can leave all your stuff there. You don't have to do an idiot check. Is that what you call it when you leave? Because that's what I say too.
Yeah, 100%. I can't tell you how much we've lost over the years. Just so much stuff that's just never made it back onto the bus. I feel like you're traveling with your whole life with you, aren't you?
You are, but that's why I keep everything in pockets. I like suitcases with lots of compartments because if it's not in
Right.
that compartment, it's not safe. But this is the kind of thing people don't care about touring. What they care about is the music. So Head Underwater, the rhythm track on that, it's a departure because I really like the fact that you've gone. Yeah, the rhythm track's incredible. And was that something
Nice one.
you thought about with the new record? You wanted it to be like more rhythmical.
I just wanted to try like kind of genres that I hadn't tried and different rhythms that we hadn't experimented with in the past. And there is quite a bit on that of that on the new album. But I was also working with some really talented producers and writers called the McDonough brothers, who are just
They're
so
incredible.
good, and
Yeah.
they're ridiculously good. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was in a bit of a musical rut, and then I went into the studio with them, and I just got so excited working with them because they were able to cook up these beats and these productions that were so far beyond anything I could do on my own in the studio. So it was such a joy working on this record
Well,
with
that's
them.
the great thing about making a second record. Suddenly, the doors are open to you, and that's fantastic. But what I love is you haven't lost any of the sensibilities of like talking about deep subjects, but you've always managed to make it sound joyous, even when it's quite dark.
Yeah,
It's something that I really admire in your work. Uh, is that something you try and do? Try and make it sound joyous at the same time dealing with difficult subjects?
I think it's always good having a bit of a juxtaposition between the two, isn't it? You
Mm.
know, like when the lyrics are quite sad, but the music's quite upbeat, and when people actually really get into listen to the song, you know, two or three times, and they really get into the lyrics, they kind of realize what it's about. But obviously, I don't want everything to just sound completely depressing. It's depressing with an undertone of hope. That's what I like to say.
I think you've just summed up Tom Walker in a nutshell there. Depressing with an underscore of hope. But I don't think it's depressing because I think it's just touching on subjects we all deal with every day. But like you kind of like it's like you're the hod carrier for us. You're taking all that on your shoulders and you make us feel something and you think we're not in it alone. Is that what you wanted to do that? Is that why you got into music to kind of to connect with people in that way?
100%. I mean, you know, writing songs started off for me as just therapy so I could work my way through my own feelings. But when I put a song out on my first album called Leave a Light On, it connected with so many people on so many different levels. And something
Mm.
that was so personal to me became this song that everybody was finding their own stories in. I thought that was such a beautiful thing. And I wanted to chat about my experiences on this album in a way that would not be a kind of warning, but just like I don't know, a little page out of my book of how I see the world. There's been a lot of turmoil in my life over the last couple of years, and I always find that people find a little bit of hope in those stories, and when they can relate to them. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, especially Tom, especially when on the surface of it, you're doing really well. You're on TV. You're a pop star. You're having at the time of your life. But like it doesn't mean that everything's okay. So it makes people realize that on the surface of it, everything can be like incredible. But below things, behind closed doors, it's not always perfect, is it?
100%. I just think having a dialogue about mental health is really important these days. And I grew up. My dad's generation, it was kind of like, don't talk about it, sweep it under the rug, hope that everything's going to be better. And, even with my friends, there's a bit of that. But I find like with younger people now, there is more of a dialogue, and it's a much healthier way to approach life, I think, talking about things.
Final question, Tom. You've got a distinctive look. How do you disguise yourself when you go out for a walk?
Just put on any other hat and no one's got a clue who I am. It's class.
Like Lee Francis, you wear one of those big Vivienne Westwood numbers.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, yeah. Or a bucket. A bucket's always good.
Have a great night tonight, Tom Walker. He's in Glasgow tonight, Glasgow tomorrow, Newcastle, Norwich, Nottingham, and London on the 7th. Have a great time. Love you lots, and
Nice
good
one,
luck with the
Ricky.
new album. When's it out?
It's out in September.
Okay, and tickets for tickets for his I Am tour are available from iamtomwalker.com. Album I Am out May the 31st. Is that right? Yeah.
No, September. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. We've moved it. We've moved it.
We've moved it.
It's going out
Tell you
September.
what, that's the music industry, folks. Always moving.
Exactly.
Come and speak to us again sometime, mate.
Nice one, Ricky. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it, lad.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Virgin Radio.